Reverend Mrs. Roslyn Jerry Janwith. She was born and bred in Jos, Plateau State. She is well-read and properly groomed. She is the CEO of the Inclusive Friends Association.
I attended my primary school in Jos. Of course, I was born in Jos, Plateau State. I attended my nursery primary school there. Partly went to Benue State to finish up my primary school, and went to Niger State Mina for my secondary school, which is Police Children's School, Police Secondary School, and after that returned to Jos for my degree program. I currently have a diploma in law and a degree in English, and also currently working on business management from the University of the People. It's an online university in the United States. I run an organization called the Inclusive Friends Association. It's an organization that promotes the rights of people with disabilities in Nigeria, basically pushing the issues of disability to the forefront of the development effort in our dear country, Nigeria. Another very sweet and interesting part of me is that I am also a recording artist. I am a musician, and music for me has been more like the platform with which I have started everything that I am doing currently.
Her journey on the wheel started on a fateful evening in 2002 on her way home from choir practice.
It's a part of me that I love to talk about. I love it when people ask me, like, they want to know my story, and I just, want to tell them. I was involved in a road traffic accident in 2002. I was just at the prime of my life. I was age 21 when it happened, and I was still in the university. I was about to round up my diploma program in law when it happened, and on this fateful day, I was on my way back home from the church. Very active in church, very active in the choir, and the week of the accident I was going to be leading a song on a Sunday. On my way home, very close to the house, I was knocked down by a drunk driver. Sustained spinal injury. In fact, from the whole story, I died on the spot of the accident.
The day she had the accident, I just came back from my work. I didn't go straight home. I went to my elder brother's house, and then on my getting home, there was panic everywhere. I walked in and they said she had an accident. We all moved to the hospital where they took her to. From there they said they took her to Youth. We went to Youth. When we saw her, the first thing we saw was a dead person. But the doctors were working tirelessly trying to revive her. But the thing was, they said she was unconscious. While the doctors were on strike, nurses were on strike, just the house officers on housemanship, and the consultants were on duty. And we all panicked. We thought she was dead, but a few minutes later she started saying some things. She wasn't fully conscious for a while, she was just saying things. And we were taken to the blood bank. Everybody had to donate blood. So because she was bruised from her head to toe. One treatment to the other, they stitched her from one end to the other. We were taken to the blood bank, we donated blood, and then a journey started.
The night it happened, I was together with my elder brother, which is his late now, and my younger sister. We took an Okada, and mine was in front, and they were coming behind. And they said they got to a scene where an accident just happened, and people were diverting the vehicles and the Okadas that were passing. And they passed, but my elder brother said he turned back and he noticed the lady on the ground was wearing a familiar jacket. And so he told the Okada to stop. And he quickly ran to the scene, and lo and behold, it was me lying lifeless on the ground. And he said he was trying to tell the people, she's my sister, no help, she's my sister. So a vehicle stopped, and they picked the Okada rider who was still conscious, and they put him on the back seat of the vehicle. But because I was completely lifeless, they put me in the trunk, in the boot of the car. And what they were going to do was, first, they didn't know whether to go to the police station. Of course, you know Nigeria. When it happens, the police would have to verify first before the hospital follow. So he said he sat in the boot with me. He was trying to convince the people she is not dead.
Mercy said no to the doctor's predictions, and Grace found her as she finally came out of coma. Then realization crept in. It dawned on her that she's a beginner in a new world on the wheels, where she had to unlearn everything she knew and had to learn how to survive on the wheels.
That was when I started coming back, to my consciousness. I was becoming aware of everything that was happening around me. Until one of the days I was lying down and I didn't feel my legs under the blanket. And I was wondering, where are my legs? Because there was no feeling completely. And I asked my sister, I said, come, where are my legs? Because I can feel every other part of my body, but I don't feel like I have legs. I asked her, where are my legs? Then she took my hands and she felt it on my legs. She said, but here are your legs under the blanket. I said, how come I can't even feel these legs? So she told me I sustained spinal injury, and that is why I don't have sensation from my waist down. But at that point I still didn't understand the extent to which this had happened or what was even happening. I just took it on a lighter note until the third week when I had to go for an x-ray, another x-ray. And when the result of the x-ray came back, I wanted to see what my backbone looked like, my spine. It was when I saw the picture of my x-ray, I knew the severity of the injury. At that point, that was when I broke down, and I think that was when, depression kind of set in for me, because at first I didn't understand. I was being the celebrity, everybody was coming to see me in the hospital, people were bringing things, people were just around me. In fact, they gave me a name, the most popular patient in Jos University Teaching Hospital, But after I saw my x-ray, that was when I knew that this thing passed as I see him, and I became very depressed because from my waist down I didn't have sensation. I didn't know when I want to poop, I didn't know when I want to pee, and as a young lady, it more like shattered my life, so to say. And that continued for 1 month, 2 months, and in the third month, the doctors came and said, we're going to teach you how to sit. And sometimes when I sit back and I think of these things, some things that we take for granted, that we don't even think about. People just sit down, and so what about it? They had to teach me to sit down all over again. And I remember before they came, I was just excited. I couldn't wait for the day I would sit up straight and look at people this way.
3 months later, she went home, and then came depression. She blamed everyone and everything. She single-handedly made all around her sad, until a brother intervened and told her to choose between life and death.
The realization dawned on each and every one of us on her situation. It's more like in the hospital, okay, she's a sick person lying down in the bed, but now she's at home. We have to do virtually everything for her for a while. She wasn't coping well, she wasn't happy, the whole family was not happy also, and each day we take it one day at a time.
I felt like I was out of the prison because I could see the streets again, I could ride in the car again. I was just excited to get home. But in spite of all of that, I was still depressed. So depressed that I started even losing my head. You would look at me and say, Grace, good morning. And I would lash back at you like it's your fault that I'm in a wheelchair. I became like a violent person. And so they had to move me from my house to my other brother's house to just go stay there, like a change of environment. And I lost weight, I was unhappy, I couldn't get back to my life. It was more like the life shut down. One of the nights, my brother sat with me and said, Grace, you just have to decide, like, if you're going to live your life, like live this life, then you just have to be happy.